Because of the obvious threat to untold numbers of citizens, and because of the crisis which is even now developing, this radio station will remain on the air day and night. Because of the obvious threat to untold numbers of citizens, and because of the crisis which is even now developing, this radio station will remain on the air day and night.
Officials and newsmen at first discounted those eyewitness descriptions as being beyond belief. However, the reports persisted.
Listen to them. Children of the night. What music they make.
Good evening, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to Boogeyman Radio.
My name is Charles.
I'm Dave.
This whole other side thing's messing me up. Well, that's okay.
Do what?
I went like this. I was like, and this, oh wait, this is Dave. And this is Dave.
This is me. And that's Chawi.
Yeah, that's me. Hi, Lori. And that's
Hey, Lori. That's Lori, guys. If you didn't know, that's Lori.
He doesn't say her name or anything.
Lori.
Lori. Anyways, so, how's everybody been? How's everybody's week?
Hope you all are doing well.
Yes, it's been a interesting week. Not really, I guess, not for me.
What? You haven't had an interesting week?
No. Haven't had an interesting week in a long time. It'll be really interesting in a few weeks, though, when it's Planet Comic-Con, though. I'll be very excited for that. By the way, they just announced, what's her name? Elvira, the gal who plays Elvira.
Yeah, I've seen that.
They just announced her, and then I guess there's a couple people that can't make it to the show. They canceled, but I can't remember who it is exactly. I think Ralph Macchio might be one of them, but that's okay.
I'll replace him. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It'll be great. It'll be great.
We'll replace him.
Be good. But either way, that weekend I'm very excited for. Ready to get off.
We'll just be rolling in there like, what, you don't know us? Boogeyman Radio? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
We're legendary.
Like, where are you going, if you don't mind me asking, Lori? Or is it just probably a job on the road with the big rig? Probably a job. Oh, he's got to go take care of some business. Hi, Denise. Hope the show went very well. Heard Dave got to guest star on the show. Makes sense. Makes total sense. But what, if you don't want me to ask, what was some of the stuff that you guys talked about, Dave?
We just kind of BS'd a little bit about
fair.
Stuff that we're doing, stuff that they've done, and everything like that. I mean, it was just more of like a general discussion, kind of like what we're doing tonight, but more. I think we're going to be a little bit more topic based. That one was a little everywhere,
all over the place.
Yeah.
Oh, sometimes those are the best conversations.
Yeah, and unless you just drop the F-bomb in front of little kids.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, I don't have any little kids here, so we're good. We're good.
We are good. We are good.
Yeah.
I will say that the Patreon is now, like, the cost of Patreon, guys, has gone down. I've fixed the tiers. So if you want to join us on Patreon, run over to patreon.com/Boogeyman Radio. It's more affordable for anybody that had an issue with what it was. And you guys want to catch more Boogeyman Radio, you can catch the After Dark right there on the Patreon page, which we go for another hour over there after this show. So don't forget, jump over there, sign up. Now's a good time to sign up. It's at the beginning of the month. They usually take out at the beginning of the month, so you're not paying double dues.
Yes.
It's a good time to sign up if you haven't yet. And it also helps support this channel, helps support our show. We can bring you more cool content like what we're going to be doing at Planet Comic-Con. We are going to kind of vlog some stuff, what we can, because I know there's some areas we're not allowed to, have cameras because of celebrities.
Yes, unfortunately. But that's okay. We'll still make it. I'm sure, we can pass by like where the celebrity row is and be like, hey, there's so and so and so and so and so and so.
No,
just can't even do that.
No. Nope. One of our friends that was with us last time I was there, he got in trouble. They told him to put his phone away or whatever, and it was
even in passing, not even in line.
Yeah, you can't. The other side of Comic-Con and all that stuff over there, you can have your phone, you can take pictures, whatever. Celebrity row, do not touch your phone. you'll have a worker coming up to you.
Interesting, because there's several times that I was in line and I was just like, snap, nobody said anything to me. It was still
Yeah.
great. I mean, I'm gonna have fun regardless. It's gonna be a fun
Oh, yeah.
Friday and a fun Sunday for sure.
I'm curious about what vendors and what booths they're gonna have set up and everything. That's gonna be
Yes.
interesting.
The artist row and different kinds of things within the con. It's not necessarily celebrity row. Like, yeah, that'd be cool, but the creativity aspect of things is way better.
So when we were saying that, our Patreon helps us do things like this. So for our patrons, we're gonna have a lot more video for you guys, a lot more content from the Paracon or Comic Con than what we'll be putting on the regular YouTube channel. So those of you who are patrons, y'all are special, and we want to treat you special.
Absolutely.
So be sure to jump over there and do that.
Lori thinks I'm a rebel.
You is a rebel.
I guess I'm a rebel.
You
I
with your
I
hat
just don't
backwards.
care. What is this? What are they going to tell me? They're just going to tell me to put your phone down?
You got your hat backwards. You got your hair in a ponytail. You got your darker shirt on.
I shaved.
You shaved?
Yeah, I had to shave because of work.
They're like, oh, it's getting too long.
Yeah, you got to trim it up. Fine, so I'll just restart it. So I just trimmed it down. No big deal.
Yeah, not a big deal.
No big deal. Just
who
takes me
you
forever
are.
to grow.
You know.
It's fine. Oh, God.
Who needs
I was getting a lot of compliments
personality.
on it too. Like it was going strong. It was full. Like that was probably the fullest I've ever had it.
It was nice.
It was getting compliments. I liked it. It was nice.
Yeah.
I didn't have to shave it, but whatever.
It is what it is.
It'll grow back eventually.
So,
Maybe.
guys, tonight we're going to be talking about just random paranormal stuff. We have basically no idea what we are going to be talking about. We are going to go off suggestions from you guys. So if you have any questions or, something like that, you're more than welcome to fire them off in the chat, and we'll go off on rants and stuff like that. Also, be sure to share this page with anybody that might be able to see it, because, Facebook and all that good stuff.
Thanks for the update, Lori. Be safe out there with all those crazy people.
Especially
with the weather going on right now, too. But anyways, good to see you, Justin. Good to see you, Josh.
Justin, I don't believe in random. All right. Let's see. What's the best way to put this? What's your burning question, Justin?
Yeah, Justin, what's
on your mind? What's on your heart?
Yeah.
About the paranormal field?
What can tickle your fancy? What
can we educate you on?
Yeah, that's sure, because I'm sure he knows way more than I do. But anyways.
Justin!
All right, I'll ask Justin
He's a rookie.
about this. How much do you trust those...
Wait, before you ask it, why don't we see if he wants to come on?
Sure, if he wants to come on, sure, whatever.
Justin, you want to come on here for a few minutes?
See what he says. Yeah, if anybody has any questions, please throw them up. We'll talk about them.
Yeah, my negligent friend.
But we didn't talk about you. How was your week?
My week has been rolling.
I can tell. Finishing up some editing for part 2 of a video.
Still doing a little bit of editing on that, but I'm at like the 26-minute mark.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's almost done. I know you guys are gonna be jealous, but I let Charles see like the first 6 minutes of it.
I'm very excited. I am very excited for the rest of it. That first 6 minutes was fantastic.
Went from 6 to midnight.
Yeah, it's great. It's wonderful. We're doing great. John was getting grabbed. It's wonderful. Anyways, I won't say where. Let it be a mystery. But hey, you never know.
Right. All right. So here's what I'm gonna do. Oh yeah, we're doing it. Heads up, Justin. Coming your way. I'm sending him an invite.
Okay.
Justin, if you want to join us on StreamYard for a few minutes, jump on here. Jump on in here, homeboy. I was thinking.
How we gonna Zoom call in 1 minute? So he has to wait until 8:30ish.
8:30ish.
Yeah, 20 minutes.
But if he gets on the Zoom call, he won't get off until like later.
That we know of.
Or you could just, jump on here for a couple minutes and not till 8:30.
That's just horrible.
I'm a horrible friend.
I have a meeting with the show people at the moment. I think that's kind of more important.
Hopping on a Zoom call in 1 minute. Oh, I thought you meant like at 8:30. It was.
No, That's why.
We are the show people. What are you talking about, man? We're the show.
Sure,
Welcome
we
to-
are. Welcome to the gun show. Anyways, couldn't help that. The rebel.
So now
in me
this
just had to
weekend-
do it.
This weekend's been good, man. I've been doing a lot of editing and
Yeah.
catching up on the next episode, and just booked a place today.
Heck yeah.
You saw
I'm
the picture
so
of it.
excited. Like that
Um,
place looks awesome.
I'm going to be filming this coming Sunday,
Yeah.
and I'm even going to live stream on the Haunting History YouTube channel for about an hour or so, maybe 2 hours, just to kind of
What time do you think?
intrigue people. It'll probably be about, I want to say 9 o'clock, 8 or 9 o'clock.
PM?
Yeah. PM.
Okay.
I
Damn.
won't be getting there until about noonish.
I'll
give me
be at
time to
work and I won't be able to
B-roll
watch
and
this.
interviews, and
I'll have to go back and watch it because I'll be at work and tomorrow is a big day for work, so we'll get there.
yeah.
Yeah, it sucks, but that's okay.
Oh, it's not tomorrow. It's Sunday.
Oh yeah, that's right. Ooh, if it's Sunday, maybe if I can get out of work on time on Sunday, maybe we can go with that.
I'm not sure on the time yet. I haven't
Oh.
really announced that. I did post in the community tab on the YouTube channel that I will probably be going live
Yeah.
at a new location. This place is so new, like only 2 other teams have ever investigated there. Like, and I think they're basically the same team, just like split up. So brand new location.
Lori's asking if it's the big white mansion.
No, it is not.
Now, what
This place
was the
is-
big white mansion? What was that
Big-
place?
Oh, I was in Guthrie, Oklahoma. That was the other thing that happened this past week, that in between shows. Wednesday, I went to Oklahoma City with Jason Kupsik and his wife. We went to see Motionless in White and Ice 9 Kills and Black Veil Brides.
Those clips you sent me was
Awesome.
pretty awesome.
It was a freaking awesome show. And everything turned out perfect because we didn't want to go see Black Veil Brides. And I guess on tour, the bands have been like mixing it up, who headlines and everything. So
Oh,
luckily for us, Black Veil Brides was the third band.
nice.
So we got to, so we watched Ice 9 and then Motionless, and then we went to the bar.
Nice.
And yeah, we got drunk.
Of
Our
course.
hotel room is right there, so we just walk up and down right next to the theater and all that good stuff. Oh, it was a great night. But
Good.
before then, I left home early and gave myself some time because I wanted to, backroad it a little bit, see some small town stuff, and see if I can find some new places. I went to Guthrie. I wanted to see the Stone Lion Inn, and that's what that was the Stone Lion Inn in Guthrie, Oklahoma. Ghost Adventures did a pretty good episode from there, and they had something really interesting happen.
Happy.
Happening.
Happen.
So if you guys want, got Discovery Plus, go check that out. But
Oh, it's
you
on
know-
Discover Plus.
Ghost Adventures,
Okay.
I don't know what season it's on. It's one of the later ones. But I stopped there. I talked to somebody about the place. She said they had tours, but like the tours were all booked up or whatever.
Mm.
But obviously when I was there, nobody was there. So I drove around Guthrie, Oklahoma, like checking out all these historical homes, went to the cemetery, found the Bob Doolin, or I think it's Bill Doolin, his grave, the outlaw. And then from the Doolin gang. And then I also found the grave of the guy that his body, he was a outlaw, but he was horrible at it. Found his grave.
That's
Yeah, the big white mansion is the Stone Lion Inn. It's a bed and breakfast now. But yeah, it was a good day there. And Guthrie is awesome. Like, if you like history, driving around Guthrie, that downtown area,
Mm-hmm.
it's freaking cool shit.
Okay.
I went live on my Facebook, driving around and showing it off. So if you guys want to see it, it should still be on my timeline.
It looked really, really neat. Like, it looked a really cool place to go check out. That's where at in Oklahoma, you said? Again?
Guthrie.
Guthrie. Okay.
Yeah, it's about 40 minutes north of Oklahoma City.
Okay. That'd be a good weekend trip.
Yeah, it's worth it, and you can back road there without hitting any of the tolls. The toll
You know
roads.
would also be a good weekend trip? Malvern, but that's another great thing that we can maybe do in the future. We'll
Yeah.
see.
Hopefully, maybe sometime. I
Hopefully
don't know.
sometime.
We'll see. Please, did you say please don't die?
Yeah, that would be nice.
I was gonna
No,
say
that wasn't me. That
I'll
was a
try.
ghost. That was a ghost that said that. But I'm glad you had a great week/weekend, man. It sounded like it was really crazy.
Busy. Yeah, it's been busy and crazy. I
Good
came
thing
back
you took
from
that. I'll say, good thing you took that week off, like just to take a break.
yeah, because literally after the next day from the show, I drove 4 hours back from Oklahoma City and went straight to work and drove there, and then got home about 10 o'clock, stayed up till about midnight, and then I went to bed, and I woke up super early for like at 7 o'clock. And this was stupid too. I think you know my thing about Jaeger, like what happens to me when I drink Jaeger.
Oh yeah.
I wake up at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
I woke up at 7 a.m. in Oklahoma City. And cool, I don't know, cool story, but like we did stop what could have been a rape while we were out there. Jason and I and his wife kept this girl from possibly being raped. Everything was setting up for this guy to like.
He's being creepy McCreeperson.
Yeah. But yeah, woke up at 7, went to work after I got back, and went to bed at midnight. Woke up at 7 a.m. Went to work again, and it was ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Well, let's jump into some paranormal, shall we?
Yeah, we should.
First question.
Yep.
Why people shouldn't get drunk, like really drunk, when investigating?
Well, I'll be the heel on this one.
Okay. Well, Lori has a question. When is part 2 of Carpenter's Mortuary?
Probably this Sunday.
Oh. That'll be really good. I'm very excited.
So I'll let you explain why we should not get drunk.
Why we should not get drink while we investigate, which I
get drink.
Get drink.
You already have somebody.
Maybe I'm a little drunk. Hey.
You have some
why
sauce.
we shouldn't drink while investigating or be under the influence, because it could make things, horrible. You may. Hey, that's who.
That's
what
it.
A revelation!
There's your answer.
What a revelation! Well, you might be feeling buzzed and feeling fantastic. Everything else could be going to crap. Your audio could be crap. Exactly. Drunk people get rowdy, stumble, potentially dangerous. Especially depending on the place you're at. If you're at a place where, like, if it's kind of condemned, but you can go to specific locations in the place, then it'd be okay. But it's best just to stay safe or have somebody in control of the or that can be in control of the situation. Having a drink, being buzzed, that's good stuff. But if you're on I would say if you're doing like a 3-person investigation, probably not a good thing. But if it's like 6, 7, 8 people, expect loudness anyways. So what's a little buzz gonna do? What's a little feeling good gonna do? Or shoot, 10, 15, 20 people. You could just ask Denise on some things, but with like McPike, there's so many people there. There's so many people. There was so many people at those places, but it was still a great time to go to those investigations. So I couldn't even really call it an investigation. It was more of like sitting down in it was like a basement, and there was like freaking 10 chairs set up, 10 or 15 chairs just set up. Everybody would just sit down in the chairs and attempt to be quiet and experience things. And then you always get those people like, oh my God, something happened, like every 10, 15 seconds. And it was always these specific people, right? Always.
The drunk ones?
No, it wasn't. They weren't even drunk. They were just the obnoxious people that you have on that come to investigations that think that every little thing is paranormal. So they have to call it out, and it ruins the entire session.
Yeah, but we were talking about drunk people, though.
Okay, that's fair. But and then I said,
you kind of went off on a little.
No, I said it just depends on how many people are with you.
Oh, okay.
If it's like 3 or 4, if it's like a 2 or 3 person investigation, getting drunk probably isn't the best idea. But if it's like 6, 7, 6, I would say 6 people. Well, maybe not even 6, because that could be a potential good team. But I would say 10 or plus people. If you have 10 or plus people, expect rowdiness or like loudness, anyways. And then if you, like I was saying, if you have the McPike mansion, they had their investigations right out in Oh, I can't remember the name of the town. I'm horrible with names.
McPike's in Alton, right?
Thank you. Yes. You have the investigations out there where they bring in a bunch of people to camp out in the yard, and then they do like a cookout and like have chili, and they do investigation tours through the play. Like, so it's just yeah. We had drunk people at McPike. They drive me nuts. Exactly. So just expect that when you have the bigger groups of people. And no, I did not forget about Malvern. Malvern was a whole different situation. It was
What?
It was a controlled situation.
What?
Yeah.
That's
You
what they all
weren't there.
say.
You weren't there. It was a great time. It was a lot of fun. It's completely controlled. There was only a few people that I would say that got really drunk. I was not one of them. I was pretty stable. But if I remember Emily, holy cow, she got wasted. But I could be wrong. It was a great time though. So yeah, Lori. Yeah, right. Like you, it just sucks when you have those people. They don't understand the volume of their own voice, right?
Okay.
She was trash. See, Denise was right. No, and Denise wasn't drunk either.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate here a little bit on this one.
Being drunk was awesome.
And there's that. I've done a drunken investigation with one other person.
Okay.
Well, technically 3 other people. And I even did it on a live stream.
Nice.
We did a little fundraising thing with it, but we had John as our control. He was our sober person watching the monitors.
See, there you go.
Well, hold on. He wasn't investigating. He was just watching the monitors and everything.
Well, you still had someone in control, and I did make that point earlier.
So Sarah and I, we drank, and people bought shots for us on the live stream, and that's how we raised money. And
that's a whole different situation too.
We were at Malvern,
but this isn't a typical. Why is it always Malvern?
We still, I know, right? we still investigated though.
Yeah, but it's not your typical investigation, right?
No, we were
it's
drunk.
Exactly. You're doing a fundraiser. Like,
but here's the point.
It's a
here's
whole
the point, though.
thing. It's an event.
With John as a control, he could monitor our behavior and how we actually investigated when we investigated. And John will even tell you, we were more focused on the investigation when we were drunk. We weren't loud and obnoxious. We were focused on the investigation. Now, the downside to everything was we forgot where we put some of our equipment.
Well, that does tend to happen.
But our investigation and everything, when it came to investigating, we were like super laser focused.
Yeah.
And
did it throw off any of your senses at all? That's Josh said it can throw off some of your senses. But I feel like, Josh, that could also depend on how drunk you are.
Yeah, I mean, we weren't like barely walking drunk, but like, because that would not have happened. I would have crashed in one of the rooms, and
I could definitely see that.
I was pretty lit though.
Well, and to be fair, for those people that don't have a lot of courage in darkness, that can give you liquid courage to just basically do whatever.
Yeah, it could. But now, on your side of don't drink on an investigation, if you're with a group of people that you may not know, or you know them and you don't know them that well, there could be that one pervert that's like drunk with everybody, and he just starts like getting a little handsy, or trying stuff on an investigation. If you're actually investigating, I know a lot of people can't hold their liquor or like do one thing while drinking. You know what I mean? Unless it's playing a game, and half of them can't even do that well. But I would say drunken investigating, I don't think that really, based off of experience, I don't think that really affects the investigation as much as people think it does.
Okay. Well, that's because you guys also had a limit. You knew your limit.
We didn't have a limit.
Well, you weren't getting sloshed. You weren't binge drinking. And yet you were in control of the situation still?
We were we were focused on the investigation. I mean, we may have
you didn't get too drunk, is what I'm saying.
I was fucking drunk.
Okay, well, it doesn't
we
didn't do a good job.
Like we did talk a little bit loud, but like there's only 2 of us, so
it
wasn't a big deal. But yeah,
Was this
during
a-
the investigation,
Oh no, that was it. You said
focus.
yeah. Malvern,
between
that's right.
like sessions and stuff
Yeah.
when we were hitting shots, yeah, it was kind of ridiculous.
I would have to, if for me to drink somewhere, I'd have to be comfortable with the place. That's just how it is. And
Right.
if you have a good support system or a good group of people, yeah, I'll take a few drinks of alcohol, but I'm not a heavy drinker. It's funny being a bartender. I don't drink a lot. Huh? Funny.
I got Josh blasted there last year.
Did you?
Yeah,
Nice.
I got video of him still. He told me
All
not
over
to
the
put it out
bathtub.
there.
Ah.
He told me not to put it out there. I thought about it. I made him do like a little promo for Malvern.
While drunk.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
That would be a beautiful thing to see.
It was epic.
Okay.
Yeah, we had a good night that night.
Okay, so that's pretty good input from some people, right? Like why you should or should not get drunk at investigations.
Yeah, I mean,
And I would say, Lori, that's the curse, right? As soon as you take the equipment down, something happens. And
I think
let's talk about that too. How many times has something happened where you don't have equipment rolling? Whether during like setup, tear down, asking questions with people. Like how many times have you gone through an investigation where something has happened where you haven't had equipment rolling?
a lot, and that's the main reason. Like, whenever we do like our actual investigations, we would start rolling on a recorder or something immediately. As soon as we pulled up, as soon as that door's open, we have a recorder or something going.
Yeah.
And it's for that reason, because like I think the final straw was the over at the Kendrick place years ago. We were investigating one of our recorders. It was full, and we decided to take a break. So I went downstairs, got on the computer, and I started dumping the audio onto the computer so I can clear space. And as Gene, one of my members, was coming down the stairs, everybody else had gone outside to smoke a cigarette. As Gene was coming down the stairs, we both heard the voice of this little girl, plain as day. And I look over at him, and he's like looking at me like, "Did you heard that, right?" I'm like, "That was plain as day." Like, he's like, I asked him, "Were you recording?" He's like, "No, you've got my recorder." And I'm like, "Shit!" So
And it's lost in time forever.
Yeah. So from there on out, we'd always record all the time, have audio or video.
Here we go. So personally, and you can say if anybody else is like that investigates. So has there been any evidence that you've had that, or I shouldn't say evidence, but like occurrences that have happened where you've had evidence of it and it was some really good evidence, and it's just been lost? Has there ever been anything that's just like something that's happened to you early on that's always stuck with you that you may not have been able to record, or you have recorded but the evidence just been lost over time?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of personal experiences that I wasn't able to record.
That's fair.
But stuff that I've recorded and is lost. There might be a few EVPs that I wish I still had, but like
nothing that stands out.
Nothing major, because I did a really good job of backing everything up. Back in the day, I'd back it up on a CD. And then from there, I would put it on the computers and on hard drives.
Here's the thing now, too, is I would say between...
And I still have the CDs.
But like 10 plus years ago, technology was a lot different than technology now.
Yeah.
As far as being able to put it up digitally and stuff like that. Yeah, CDs.
That's what I said. I'd put it on CDs. Now I've got them transferred to the computer, which I can, I'll transfer to hard drives and stuff like that. And if I want to put it out there for people on the Haunting History channel, when I started doing Our Haunted Past, a lot of those EVPs and a lot of the stuff that we captured on that were from investigations before I even started Haunting History. Like some of that stuff's back from like 2006, 2007, 2008, that era. So now it's on YouTube and it's not going to be lost.
It's always a plus, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's always nice. Okay, so I would have to say for me, I'm trying to think of some good. It's usually audio is what I've just lost over the years, because it was on my old computer, and then my old computer just all of a sudden broke down, so I couldn't back up all the stuff, which sucks. But That's what happens, right?
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to think. Man, there were some really good ones. Oh, okay. So one that I remember, and I really wish I still had. I probably had this audio somewhere. I just don't know. I have no idea where. I may not have it anymore. I was investigating at an old plantation home, not too far from where I lived, but where I'm from. And a friend of mine, he was renting out a house on the property, but it wasn't the original plantation house, which is still standing today, I believe. Uh, the house behind it was actually the original slave quarters, and it was renovated into a home.
Yeah.
And it was one of the only plantations that survived the burn order in this area from oh gosh darn it, I can't remember what it's called, but yeah, there was a burn order that happened, and they burnt down a lot of the plantations and homes and stuff that had slaves. And so I just remember we were doing an audio session, and we were out in the backyard, and it sounds like you hear like it sounds like a gunshot or cannon fire. It was really weird. I showed it to a friend of mine who was deep into Civil War stuff, and he said it reminded him of a cannon blast because of the recoil, like because of the initial blast, but then you could hear this. And what it sounded like, it would be the cannon recoiling and bouncing on the ground. It would have that initial shock on the ground. So you had the cannon blast, and then you had those other like 2 or 3 sounds right after. And he said it reminded him of cannon blasting. And then he pulled up, I think it was just a clip of a Civil War cannon being shot, and it sounded almost identical to the recording. And that was one of the coolest recordings I ever had. And then shortly after the cannon fire shot, you hear what sounds like an animal like screaming or yelping. There's no animals. There was nothing close by us, dude.
Interesting.
It was one of the coolest audio recordings I had ever received, and it's just gone. Like, I have no idea where it's at.
There was one night in Newtonia, Missouri. I was at the old Civil War cemetery with my buddy Gene and somebody else, and I took my mom out there too. And that night, like, that was my mom's first time ever being out there, and she doesn't like investigate much or anything like that. But I took her out there, and we all heard on multiple occasions what sounded like cannon fire, like it was going overhead, like you'd hear that. Boom.
Yeah. Yes.
Like we heard it with our own ears, like, and we kept commenting in it. We picked it up on the recorder. Previous investigations, we captured gunshots and what sounded like cannon fire and stuff like that out there. And it was that area was the site of 3 skirmishes. So, a lot of residual energy being left behind, but like just the fact that we had something that we also heard with our own ears, and the fact that my mom was there too, and she heard it and experienced it, that I kind of wish I still had that audio, but
That'd be really cool.
I don't think I have that anymore.
It's unfortunate it gets lost to time. I mean, one of my original, and which I have it, but it's such a bad quality camera, and it's been loaded and shared so many times that just the quality's just not there anymore.
Just diminished. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and it's this house that I investigated was a friend of mine's, and his son had like just passed away, so he wanted me to do an investigation at his house, which he had his son's guitar there, and the son was living with him at the time. He was living somewhere else, but he just wanted to see if Chris was around, which is what his name is. And we were doing the investigation. It was us. It was myself, my cousin, and 2 of our other friends. That was pretty much my team back in the day. And but besides the paranormal stuff that had always happened at his house before his son passed away, there was also weird lights that would happen out in the pasture, and it was the site of some cattle mutilations back in the, I think, 70s or 80s.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So there was just some other weird phenomenon that had happened at this place before. So we went out there to investigate, and we got some. It sounded like the guitar string being like not plucked, but just ding, one time, which was really cool. It was really neat that it happened. And I remember seeing a shadow figure, what looked like a shadow figure, up in like a doorway, and it like just went, it like quickly just moved out of the way. And I started reacting to it. One of my buddies like, "Hey dude, calm down. It's all good. We're here. We're investigating." And so the other thing that was unfortunate is, we can talk about this too. With my earlier investigations, and this was at someone's house, it's hard for them to not be at the location, right?
Yeah.
It's hard for them to like just basically pick up and go wherever else. So you kind of have to work around them living there while you're investigating. So it was him, his girlfriend, and her like 2 kids. Yeah. And this is a really, really small house. So you had like the entryway, entryway, kitchen, a really small like 3-person dining room, a small living room, bedroom.
Right.
It's just a really small farmhouse.
Huh.
It's been there for years. And so we were investigating. We were sitting in the actual, what was the dining room. And one of the cameras was like facing this way, going past one of my cousin. And there was one of the bedrooms was literally like at the far opposite end of the room. And you could see it looked like a black shadow or something going boop, boop, and it just went like that once. It just and went down. Yeah, it was
did you
weird.
share that video with me? You had
I
the
think
video.
I think I did. But that I would like if I could have a better like quality of that video. Oh. But I believe that's my only like physical video something happening.
Guys, if you have any questions about anything paranormal, you feel free to ask, and we'll cover it.
Yeah, we can talk about the phenomena. Like Lori just said this too a little while ago, is physically hearing something and it doesn't show up on the recorder.
Yeah, happens all the time. Look at when we went to the Crescent Hotel.
Oh, true.
All the stuff that I was hearing,
I didn't hear a single freaking thing.
Yeah, you didn't hear a single thing, and most of it didn't even pick up on the audio, but a couple of them did. But
true.
Same with the cemetery the night before.
True. Yeah, gosh, I don't know why I was so deaf to all these things.
Just not as in tune. Like, you haven't been doing it as much as I do.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think with paranormal investigating, the more you do it, the more you subconsciously open up to things.
Okay.
It's not like you're making a conscious effort to I'm connecting with the spirits,
the universe, and
it's just something that happens. I believe you can't force it, you can't really stop it, and that's why I say sometimes, like I think certain people have an ability to experience more, and I think that's part of why it is. Like Spurrier and I, whenever we investigate together, it seems like there's a lot of activity every time. If I'm investigating alone or with certain people, there'll be a lot of activity.
Why is it when you and I investigate, not a lot happen?
Well,
that's not true, because we did have Malvern was pretty active.
Yeah. Well, things didn't happen around you or for you.
Oh, that's true.
They did happen for me. So,
true.
I think, like I said, you have to be doing it a lot, more constant, than you have to be in it for a while. And throughout that process, you do start to kind of open up and take things in. And
so what do you think it would help to be like, hey, I'm open to seeing or witnessing things, or would that help with maybe getting activity to happen? Yeah.
But just stating it?
Just saying it aloud at the investigation.
I don't think it really helps anything. I mean, it gives it permission for it to try to do that, but like, you still have to be actually open, and your body has to be ready for that experience. Because like I said, if you haven't investigated a whole lot and you go into a place and it's dead, but yet like a seasoned investigator will go in there and they'll have like crazy shit happening all the time. A lot of that, I think, is because they've investigated more. They've put themselves in those positions, that state of mind a lot more times. It's like training, basically. It's like training your body subconsciously to kind of be able to pick up on things. And I think that's kind of where it is with a lot of investigators. So yeah, I think for you mainly it's just you need to be out there doing it more.
Okay.
And opening yourself up while you're doing it. And then I think more and more you do it, more and more you'll start experiencing.
Okay. Good to know.
You still have to like have that skeptical mind though. Like saying, oh, that was a car outside, or that was a dog barking, or this and that. But like That's where I'm at with it.
Okay. Because, like I said, I've said before, I'm always open for things to happen. Just more of like, do I want evil things to happen or not?
Well, there's a myth right there. I think it's overstated that everything is evil and all
I don't
this.
think everything's evil.
I know, I'm just saying, like, it's because of, media, not you, but like people in general have this idea that they're going to come across demons in a lot of these places. And we all, people that actually do the research and study this, they know that's not the case. You might come across an inhuman that might not act,
Say, if
friendly.
I trust my feelings and I feel like something's evil, I'm going to go with that feeling.
You could just be in like coming across a person who wants you to think that, or wants you to feel like that they're a bad entity.
Okay.
I used to get those feelings where like I'd start to walk into a room, then all of a sudden I'd get this feeling that it's like, I don't need to be in here. I need to get out of here. And I wouldn't go in there, but I would force myself eventually to go in these rooms and stay in these rooms, even with that feeling. And guess what? Nothing happened. It's just, you do get those feelings. It's just a sign that your body is accepting energy.
Well, I said, how much could it be? Also, you're just giving yourself the heebie-jeebies.
Exactly. It can be a mental thing. It could just be like a sign that your body's accepting, your surroundings or picking up on stuff.
Well, I mean, because let's take for an example or whatever. Let's say I'm in one room, and this room over here just something feels horrible and awful and whatever. What's to say that that's horrible and awful doesn't come into this room? Right?
Exactly. Like, no matter where you're going, it's not like a spirit's only trapped in that one room, like it should be able to come out, interact, do all that stuff. So like going into this room is not going to be, you're not going to have a higher risk of being possessed in this room than you are in this room,
True. Yeah.
So
Denise
we got a
asks,
few questions in here.
What is the hardest type of evidence to capture?
Like apparitions. Come on. This.
I would definitely say shadow people is the hardest thing to capture.
Shadow?
Shadow. That's apparitions to me. Is shadow people. Sorry.
No.
Complete difference.
Complete difference.
All right,
so
what's the difference, Dave?
the difference is a shadow person is a solid black figure, whereas an apparition would be like a detailed image. Like, say, if you were looking at me, or if I turned off this light and you just see my silhouette, like, or at least the silhouette of my hat. Okay, that'd be a shadow person. My face would be an apparition. You're seeing more of me. Turn that back on.
Okay, so you don't mean a solid black figure when apparitions. You mean like an actual, like, starting to see detail in the face.
Yeah, where you see the detail and stuff like that. That would be an apparition. Where a shadow person is just a shadow.
Just a blank. It's like a silhouette.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
And I've captured shadow figures. Never captured an apparition.
I think I've seen an apparition once or twice, and it honestly scared the shit out of me. But
I'm right there with you, man. That is startling.
It scared it was when we were doing the investigation, or I was helping with a tour at the Belvoir Winery, and we were in nursing home ring. I can't remember which wing we were in, which building, but like at the end of the hall, I just see this like flash of light, and then it was just this face. Nobody else saw it. I was the only one that had seen it, and I actually my body fully reacted to what I saw. It was crazy. But anyways,
we have Justin on now. We're gonna have Justin answer a few of these questions too.
Yeah.
So let's bring him on here. What's up, Pony Boy?
Hey. This is tough, you guys. Like,
you're in your
last
lair.
minute.
I know, right?
So can you hear me? Because this is why I don't have any way to hear you. I don't have anything ready. In fact, you guys, I had to find something to balance the phone on, and you guys are sitting on a potato. Like, if you start.
I feel so honored.
That's a big potato, man.
That is a big potato. Are you in Idaho? Jesus, man.
No, but that is my nickname. I'm just kidding. Yeah, you guys are on a potato, so it's like wobbly. And then I've never done Zoom like on the phone like this without the app. So this isn't Zoom, StreamYard.
Yeah,
so.
StreamYard.
So I can barely hear you, like barely. So I'm trying to think of an option real quick to like find some headphones or something. But they don't put headphone jacks on phones anymore.
It's weird. Especially iPhones, huh? It's crazy. It's
So-
dumb.
If I bring you up on the computer, I just wonder if it's going to echo for you guys. You know what I mean?
Well, let's find out.
I guess we will.
We got 15
What's the name of your all
minutes left.
show?
Yeah.
Booger?
Boogeyman Radio.
Yeah, Boogeyman Radio.
I'll do my best here. Okay. Let me turn this.
You're good.
Booger. Oh, there's an echo.
Mm-hmm. Turn your phone volume down.
Yeah.
I mean,
If
we'll
he
stop
hears
an
us-
echo.
What if he? Well,
Can I?
think-
Oh no, I can't do that. Okay.
Turn your phone volume down.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What if he?
So this
what if he
isn't
heard
going to
us
work
through the-
because
What if he heard us through the phone?
can I?
put it
No, no.
up
There's
to
a
us?
huge delay,
Yeah, that's true. That's a
so
good point.
I'll just have to do it the other way.
Okay.
Sorry for the last minute. That's just.
There went the potato.
I saw Pornhub.
There went my potato.
I saw Pornhub, guys.
What's that weird browser?
Yeah, I was not ready for this. So
Pull your
Sorry.
pants up. Come on.
all right,
Be a gentleman.
stay.
That'd be a very impressive thing to see, Lori. I've never.
I'll be in here.
captured a
I'll be in
figure ever.
What? I need one of them Whisper 2000 things. You remember
Okay.
those?
Yes,
I have like 7 of them, but I tore them apart to take the microphones out for a different thing I was building. So that old man on the commercial would be pissed if he got a hold of it. What?
So what is it? Austin doesn't have any like giant headphones or anything.
Yeah, but he is live right now.
Oh, okay, that's a big no then.
it's
So
okay.
I-
We can do it this way. We'll just.
I didn't
Yeah, it's
bother.
fine.
pace it.
You only
Uh,
have like a few minutes, I noticed. So
Yeah,
sorry
so
about that.
We're good.
That's
No,
fine.
It's okay.
All right.
So-
So, you want to ask him a question, or you want
Yeah.
me to?
Well, let's get Lori's question out of the way again.
Okay.
Do you have a theory as to why cemeteries have blue or green lights that appear on photos, or is it just camera flares?
That's interesting. That like in my time spent in cemeteries, which wasn't a whole lot. Like I don't mind cemeteries, but I tried to not do investigations there. But so basically, my thought process was, I'll do everything wild and crazy and as far away from home as I can while I'm younger, and then when I get older and I can't, travel as much or whatever, then I'll walk the cemetery and talk to Ethel and all them, old ladies. So I didn't spend a whole lot of time there investigating, but I've captured a larger amount of blue, I would say, than anything. What seems to be like a blue light anomaly or a self-sustaining light source that you see with your own eyes, which is really cool. And yeah, I guess I would consider green. I mean, I might not have initially, but now that you say it, blues and greens are kind of almost interchangeable sometimes. But when you see something like that, kind of green, I have, now that I think about it, seen that a few times in the cemetery, and I can't explain why. I'm wondering now, let's see. I would look deeper into, it seems like everyone I've ever captured or heard of is always when there's green grass on the ground. So it doesn't ever seem to happen when when everything's dead, at least in my experience so far. I haven't seen that, but that's
No
not
pun intended.
Exactly.
Now-
How much have you drank now?
Now, I will say, like I've talked to Rick Park about this, and he does a really good presentation. I've been trying to get him to do the presentation at the Paracon, but he does this really great presentation about orbs, and he goes into the science of the orbs and the colors and things like that. And like even with water molecules, they'll have a certain build of like iron or sulfate or whatever. Well, different minerals will also conduct like or they'll what's the word I'm looking for? Project certain colors whenever there's light shining on it or shining through it.
Like refract a certain color. Yeah.
Yeah,
Kind
so
of like when you shine a light on a dog's eye, and they'll like glow. Certain animals will have eyes that glow.
So when you're taking pictures in a cemetery, one thing you want to take note of, Lori, would be what time of day or evening is it? What's the humidity like, the moisture index or whatever. Like that might be a one scenario that you might want to take into consideration with it. Like I said, Rick Park would be able to tell you a lot more about it and be able to tell you what compounds.
Like get into the spiritual side, like the different meanings. I mean, of course, we don't know definitively what's like green is always. Yeah, I mean, green, they always have to be identified as him and her, and blues are they and them. It's like we don't know, but we can say it all we want, and some things seem to hold some weight. But no, I do find that interesting that it happens a lot, and I've seen it in the daytime too. But there is probably more moisture, at a cemetery where you have tons of grass and dirt that some may or may not have been turned recently, but and then stone. I guess it's just very different than inside of a four walls.
And maybe even the reflection off of tombstones could cause a glare.
Decorations.
No, that's
too.
impossible. That's
No.
not it.
No, write that off.
There's no glare on decorations or anything either. The people.
Or
so
lights.
like a neat thing that I started doing was with orbs. So what I'm working on now is sonification. So basically, I'll take a photo. I'll take several photos, like without moving the camera. It'll be on a tripod and it'll be a still scene, and it might be 10 photos or 3 over the course of a few minutes or however long. Nothing's supposed to move, but anything that does move, when I overlay the pictures in my software, it'll show like any differences. So let's say an orb was to fly by, or maybe it was a piece of dust or whatever. It'll track that for me and show me which pattern it went. So I can isolate that, cut out the rest of the photo, kind of like if you were cropping an image down.
Mm-hmm.
And then what I do is I run just that segment of the photo through a machine. We don't use machines anymore. We use software.
Yeah.
And what it does is it turns that image into sound waves. So you can actually hear what it sounds like in a sound representation format, just like you can turn, a picture that you could turn sound into a picture and vice versa. So we take just that section and basically I'm listening to see if there's any kind of EVP or anything within the picture that I took, and then what the software determines that sound should be according to that picture. Something that I don't think anyone's ever tried, isolating it down that far. But if you have, again, you have a trail, because this thing will trail, like when you overlay the photos of where this dust was at. I'm saying dust, or great grandma, whatever it was, wherever it's at, it'll trail it, and then it'll turn that into a sound once you run it through. So that's something I'm trying to build, like a standalone unit to do that. How cool would that be?
That would be.
I hate that everything has to be apps, but that's honestly probably the way it'll end up going.
Yeah.
But yeah, it would be cool just to see a bunch of YouTubers running around with like this big machine trying to get this stuff to happen instead of just tapping some necros and stuff.
What's that weird
I said
noise?
Necrophonic.
Yeah.
I said necro.
Have you? Can you imagine like being a ghost hunter or investigator like back in the late 1800s, and you have to have that camera on the big ass tripod with the hood and everything? You're like, wait.
I think I probably did that. Yeah, I feel like I did that.
That'd be
and
cool,
I still have a lot of that. Those old equipment. I really appreciate that old equipment. So
yeah, that's why
it
I
just
send
sucks when it breaks down.
Have you tried experiments with older equipment like that?
Yeah, I have a lot of. In fact, I have like a 1969 Universal. It's a Mamiya press camera, like they would have used to take newspaper photos way back. This big thing, and converted it into instant film, so it'll actually shoot like new age film in an instant format. The only problem is, again, it was so old and it broke, and now it needs repaired, and that's expensive. And then you send it to them, they're like, "What the hell is this? This isn't right. This isn't what it's supposed to look like."
This doesn't look like normal.
That's why I like sending you pictures of old cameras that I see, like, oh, I wonder if Justin has one of these, and I'll snap a photo of it and I'll send it to you.
I like the old stuff, but it is very expensive to use any real film anymore. So
yeah,
I do what I can.
True. Okay, so
and as I wear my Polaroid shirt.
Yeah, no, it's great. So how much do you trust? And I know you talked about apps last week. How much do you trust, like
I didn't.
What?
No, we talked about apps.
No, we talked about apps last week. That's okay. Yeah. How much do you trust like the radio box kind of things, where it's not necessarily like the what is the SB7, not like that, but like the
like the Geoport.
Yeah, like where it's just like a box that emits its own sound and it's supposed to be paranormal. How much do you trust stuff like that?
Well, I mean, are we talking about like scanning frequencies, like live radio waves, or something that's sound bank?
Like a phonetic generator?
Yeah, like a phonetic generator.
Okay, so let me just grab this because this is the perfect time. I've not even got to use this yet. This is really
okay.
This is really cool though. You're gonna appreciate this, I think.
First time seeing it, guys. Woo! Only here.
Yeah. You asked the right questions.
So I don't know if you can see it, but
Dad,
this is an old urn, and was sent to me from a friend, Katie, over at Katie Holte Paranormal, and this is called the Phoenix, and it's a phonetic-based device. Has a little B screen on it here, which makes it hard to see, but it is an advancement because all the other ones I have don't have screens. So when you hear it, you're like, oh, I think it said, kind of like the Ovilus 3, like you'll swear up and down that it said something, and then you'll go over there and it said something like holiday, and you thought it said, no, I heard it say get out, there's a demon, and like, but it just sounds so robotic. This thing's cool because it has different modes. It's all random, and by random we mean like pseudo random. So as soon as you turn it on, it's randomly picked for the future. So there's nothing that's truly random about anything really out there when it comes to these devices as far as phonetics go, but it definitely randomizes it right up front. And let me just
if it's choosing it at random ahead of time, wouldn't you have to give an entity a little bit longer time to answer and respond?
I don't know, because it's like I've taken clips of ghost box, like we'll say ghost box, spirit box, FM signals out of, SB7. We'll just use that. It wasn't an SB7, but that same principle. It was actually a Frank's box that I did it with, but you run the Frank's box, record it, or the SB7, you record it. So when you play it back, it should always say the same thing, just like if I recorded, us talking. But I've been able to take that same audio on different investigations and use it. And after so long, you get to knowing the responses, and the timing. But if you give it to someone else, they can still get intelligent responses that you've never even heard before on there. Like, it's mind blowing how they can still interact with the audio. And then we don't really know why. Like, you'll swear up and down that you know exactly what it sounds like. That's not in there. And then when you listen to it, it is in there. And then the next time it's not. And maybe it is. Maybe our brains are like perceiving this information differently each time. I don't know. I can't explain it, but it is time. I don't think space and time, matter to these guys listening. So that's why they're always one step ahead of us. And you're like, stop talking while I'm still asking the question. I
don't need 50 voices at once, darn it. Yeah, it's exactly.
Exactly. But I'll just show you like 5 seconds of this to show you like what it sounds like. It's really cool. So I turn it on here.
Yeah.
And then I'll tell you what I do.
It sounds possessed.
Yeah, I can't even mock it. It's so random. Whisper. It has whispers and.
And now, are those words coming to the bottom? What is that?
Okay, I'm gonna turn it off. What'd you say?
Are those words coming through the bottom? There's like that little.
So yeah,
is that words?
Well, there should be no words, but
look like
it definitely
just like scribbles.
It puts it just kind of on goes with the phenomes and the different things. But the interesting thing was, I think she said twice before she sent it to me, because she sent it a few weeks ago, but I haven't even had a chance to use it yet, which I was planning on doing hopefully tonight. It said Justin, but it spelled it. How did she say just? It spelled it very just like a character off, but as close.
Okay.
So that was interesting for it to do that, because you hardly ever even see the words, like more than a 2-letter word pop up on there, like ON or NO.
Yeah.
And you don't hear it all the time either, because it's so fast. But so I thought that was interesting that it said something close to my name. And so I guess he thought I should have that.
So Lori had a question. We'll get the question through before we leave. Do you think using a good quality 30 or 5 millimeter digital camera would be better than a phone?
There, that helps. I can read it. Do you think a good quality 35 millimeter digital camera would be better than a phone? Better. I don't know if there's any better capturing anything, but I still like to say that I think the film is better because I've got some really cool stuff on Polaroids and 35 and 110 and any kind of film, but I don't know that it really is. I mean, the thing I always try to stay away from is like any kind of filterization on, like if your phone has some filters, like a UV filter, that's normal. But anything you're using shooting through an app or something, I always would like Snapchat. I wouldn't go out and open your Snapchat and go ghost hunting because it's not really it's not that great. You're gonna get all kinds of weird dogs sticking their tongues out and stuff. But it's just the texture of the wall. But I don't know it's any better, but I do appreciate it. I appreciate people that respect people that try using those things, at least try, until your wallet or purse can't afford it.
Yeah.
I had a friend of mine, she would use, for recording purposes, she would use a tape recorder over a digital recorder, and she swore up and down that she preferred this tape recorder over the digital.
Yeah, I was the same way. I still like to use it on occasion. I think a lot of it, I don't know, something about the magnetic, properties of the tape and such. I think that holds something, but I can't say that it's any better because look at all the evidence people have captured on voice recorders. Although I do have a tape that I discovered like a couple years ago from when I think it was in 1986. I was like 8 years old or whatever I would have been then, in 1987. And it was me singing Ghostbusters, and it was just packed full of EVPs. Like now that I listen to it and know what I'm listening, so they're sitting there saying, my name, and I'm singing Ghostbusters theme song, and it was just packed full. And I used to talk on cassette tapes. I have tons of cassette tapes of me just rambling on and doing news broadcasts or whatever. At least mine, it wasn't. I wouldn't say it was news, but probably just as good as the news out there today. Yeah. And I was doing all kinds of crazy stuff, and it's full of EVPs. And had I known at that time, I was able to do that. But yeah, I love and working with the old stuff for sure.
That's cool.
Can't say it's better, but I do still enjoy it and do it.
Well, we got to wrap up this show here. Guys, if you want to follow us over to the Patreon page and become a member, again, we did drop the price down. So if you want to jump over there, become a Patreon.
Wait, you dropped the price?
I did. I dropped the price. If you want to jump over there, become a Patreon. We're going to continue our conversations over there. The After Dark show is going to go on for another hour. I don't know if Justin wants to join us over there too. Maybe it'll give you some time to go get some headphones or something.
Yeah, I mean, I came for a little bit. Sure. How long? See what time? Okay, yeah.
We'll start it at about 9:15. And
I'll find some headphones or something.
Yeah, I'll give you about 10 minutes to go do that, 10 or so.
Alrighty.
But guys, thank you for jumping on Boogeyman Radio. We appreciate it.
Thank you guys.
We'll have an actual topic for you guys next week. We don't know what it is because we haven't decided yet. So that's that.
Bums.
Anything you want to add, Charles, before we jump off?
No, great show like usual. Can't wait till next week.
Justin, anything you want to throw out there? Like, where do they find you? Or videos of you?
No. Okay. Wherever. I'm around. I'm making some cool stuff, so you can look out for like new gadgets and things that.
Hell, he might even show them on the After Dark show.
Uh-oh.
You have to tune in to find out.
Give you a teaser. Ooh. All right.
All right, guys.
See you guys.
Thanks for joining us. Bye.
I'm a potato.